All right, you're listening to the 28-3 podcast. I'm Corey. You're here with Max and Nick. We're continuing on our draft discussion and picking up from where we picked up last episode.
Yeah, so I think we left off last episode. Each of us had a different approach we wanted to take. I said I wanted to trade back. Corey said he wanted to trade up. Nick said he wanted to stay put. So I think the best thing to do is let's all plead our cases and see who has the most compelling case.
Okay, so why don't we start with the person who wants to stay put?
Me.
Good call. What you got, Nick?
I just feel this draft, as far as the Saints' needs, there's going to be options at 29. I don't see the point in giving up capital to go up a little bit higher. I can't imagine they're, dead set on somebody in this group. I do not want us to trade up to get a defensive tackle. I don't think there's that level of talent there to waste extra draft capital to get there. And I feel that's our only glaring need on the roster. So sit tight, take the best player available. There's going to be options there, and keep it going.
Well, let me ask you this. Who, in your mind, who would you like to see there at 29? Like, give me a cloud of 3 players. Like, who are the 3 you're hoping are sitting there at 29 and we get to choose from?
There's a bunch that I would like to take. I think there will be some combination of Gibbs, Nolan Smith, and Meyer. And that's all offensive, I know. But, well, not Nolan Smith. But 3 options there. If those were all there or one of them is there, why not sit at 29, let one of them fall to you, and take them? With that said, if there's some bigger names that could fall there too, but I just think there's going to be options there.
Okay. Yeah, and honestly, those are 3 great options. Corey, what you got with the move up? I'm interested to hear who you're targeting. Who are your 3 guys you would move up for?
Okay, so we talked last episode about how it just ain't working with the Peyton Turner, Marcus Davenport mold. And you were right to say that there's guys in this year's draft that fit that size and weight and speed combination that actually have more to show on tape than the UTSA dude, than the University of Houston dude, and like we also talked about last episode, our roster this year is set up to where it's not a luxury to draft best player available. Like you said, Max, it's just kind of what you should do. And the reason you should do it is because you need a guy that can impact the game in your first round pick. We're tired as fans of having a first round pick that we have to
develop.
We pick him. He puts the hat on the stage. He's got the jersey. He hugs the commissioner, which is the fakest shit I've ever seen. And then we got to celebrate him over a crawfish boil and say, yeah, you're our guy. Woohoo.
Well, you know
but we want to do that for a guy that's actually going to make a difference.
Yeah, and Nick brought up a good point last episode when he said that I don't want to plan for 2024 right now.
Yeah.
Let's focus on 2023. We've got a good team. The ones, in my opinion, are rock solid. It's the 2s and the 3s. There's some holes, but let's go best available player. Let's get somebody good.
And the other thing too is, it's always hard to rely, as a fan, it's hard to kind of just say, trust the process. I got a lot of friends who, guys I've known since high school who are diehard Saints fans who are just like, man, fuck Mickey Loomis. It's like
you're sitting next to one of them right there.
Well, yeah, it's like, look, he's won a Super Bowl. He has gotten you to the NFC Championship game where a flag kept you from the Super Bowl. He has just made stupid talking heads like Nick Wright look like a bobblehead, and you kind of have a little bit where you want to love that and you want to say, well, let's just let Loomis do Loomis. Let's let Ireland do Ireland. And so
I'd be happy to let Ireland do Ireland.
That's a fair point there.
Ireland's not good at defensive ends, though.
But I'm not here to give him a Loomis resume. I'm not here.
Ireland's not a trade upper.
But look,
we've traded up.
You asked the question, Max. So what I would want to do is say, let's be aggressive. Okay. Well,
give me you guys. Who are your 3?
Okay. A lot of people
It can't all be Georgia.
Okay, they projected.
Okay, let's
Kijana
let's set a parameter for this. We're trading up to 15 for Corey. Okay, let's call it 15.
I think I can go with at least one Georgia guy.
That's possibly a first-round pick, by the way, a 2024 first to make this move. So
Are we
you
in
better make this
agreement
count.
that you're going to have to trade a first-round pick to go 14 spots? Are we in agreement?
You want me to trade next year's first for this?
Well,
That's
you
what it
probably
would
would
cost.
have to make this trade.
Oh, okay. So if we're going up 14 picks, okay.
Just assume you're giving up next year's first.
If I'm giving up next year's first,
Who do you have to get?
and
Who is worth it?
there are two guys who are worth it to me for next year's pick.
Building up the suspense. Come on, lay it on
That
us.
is Jackson Smith and Jiba
He'll be there.
to put in with MT and Olave. Get off our shit if we have him on our team.
So
First
pause.
off,
You're going. Wait, real quick. Pause. You're going to get him
going to get him.
when there is a small chance he could even fall to us.
No chance. No chance.
There's no chance.
But
he
he's
falls
ranked
29.
around 20.
No. He
Around.
is
Where's he ranked? Where's Kuiper
10,
have him?
11, 12.
Kuiper has him at 10.
He's 10, 11,
the
12,
latest mock has him going to Texans at 12.
Yeah. He's
From
going
from
12.
Cleveland.
Now,
Now-
hold on. I want to hear the other one first. Who's the other one?
The other one is a polar opposite of a skill guy like Jackson Smith, and that's Broderick Jones from my alma mater, University of Georgia. I say you get.
So he's a tackle.
He is your bookend tackle.
So
I
who's
don't
he
think
playing
we
in
have.
front of in 2023?
He's
Penning
not.
or Ramczyk? So
He
he's not
is-
playing.
100% in front of Penning, and you figure out a different spot for Penning.
Okay. There's no way they do that.
There's no way.
Okay, so
No
pick
way.
another player. There's no way they're picking a tackle with one signed to a $100 million deal almost, and the other one a second year, basically his rookie year.
I think Penning
No way.
is. You can.
You
I
can
do
have
think-
your opinion of Penning, but their opinion of Penning is they gave up a lot of capital to get Penning. They're not.
it's just
gonna
not happening
shelve
this
him.
year without him playing a year.
You're talking about a team that loves to think outside the box in terms of personnel,
Okay.
especially on the offensive line.
The
I'm just
only
telling
way
you,
they
that's
do
not gonna
something
happen.
like that, Corey, is if they think they're moving Penning inside next year. That's the
Yeah.
only way they do something like that.
That's what I'm saying. They could
So,
easily
so
say.
that's your two. Do you have a third, or is it those
That's
two?
a big ass guard, dude.
I mean, really, those are the two. I mean, but
6.
love a big guard. Pete is a huge guard.
Well,
I'm
hold
just-
on.
he's
So
a
is there a
gigantic guard.
third part of this equation, or is it just
Those are
two?
my real two that I would be going all in for. The only other guys you're talking about would be
Okay,
would be Bijan.
Let me litigate this. Let me
Bijan's
let me
going-
give you.
I'm going to squash this real quick. No way they're trading 2 firsts to move up for a receiver
Broderick.
2 years in a row. No way they're trading 2 first-round picks to get up to a third tackle.
How many other
All right,
drafts have
time
we
out.
said?
I agree with your second part.
Well, but let's also
That first one is on the table. I
let's
think.
also rephrase this.
They won't do
though,
it 2 years in a row.
or
No way.
reframe it, because it's not about there's no way. You asked why would I want to move up for that. That's
Okay.
why. That's why.
No, fair enough. And let me say, Broderick Jones, I absolutely would not do that, knowing that we have, as Nick said, Ramczyk on a $100 million contract, and you have Trevor Penning with all of the capital that was sunk in him last year.
You're
Time
all
out,
in
time
on
out.
you're all in on Ramczyk. That's fine.
No, Ramczyk's.
That's without question.
But he's an all-pro, 28-year-old, 29-year-old guy.
Ramczyk was on a Hall of Fame trajectory
can't-
until.
He's also on an all injury trajectory too.
No, he missed
Unfortunately,
4 games. Let's
Well,
not
time
freak
out.
out.
Now, Jackson Smith and Jigba.
could be scary. Very scary.
I will admit,
Horror movie shit.
you got my attention on that
The
one.
movie Scream.
I'm a big fan.
You don't know where it's coming from next.
I'll be honest with you.
Max GM's like he's playing Madden. That's my one problem with Max GM.
Hey, man.
Hey,
If I have 19 receivers, I just got to spread it around and get them all 1,000
speed
yards.
99.
So,
Speed 99.
Again,
speed
Derek
99.
Carr. I am on the Derek Carr, flood Derek Carr with as many weapons as possible. Train.
I'm not against that philosophy, but I am against
Number one is rich. Two number
Right.
ones to get Jackson
2
Smith
number
and Jigba is
ones
a
to
little
get
rich.
You love Shaheed. Where does he fit in if you do that?
An
you know,
amazing number 4.
you
Smith
can't give 2 firsts for a 4.
Smith and Jigba
Two
makes
first for a 4.
Shaheed.
No, I said Shaheed would slot in at 4.
Smith and
Okay,
Jigba
so you're
makes
putting him at 4.
Shaheed.
You're putting who in the slot?
Look, Smith
Probably-
and Jigba make Shaheed look
You got
like
3 slots.
Jackson.
look like
Jackson's
Marcus
a slot.
Callaway.
Where's MT going? Outside? Is he
He's
just
played
running
outside his whole
No,
career.
MT is
He's
young.
best in the slot, though.
I want 3
Best.
Yeah, we say that, but
Just roll out 3 Buckeyes at receiver. Why the hell not?
Can you run 3 slot receivers?
If we have MT, Olave, and Njigba, I think we can do whatever hell.
It would be. Listen, I'm not saying that wouldn't be amazing. I'm saying giving up 2 firsts this year, giving up what you gave for Olave,
it's a bit
signing MT back. It just doesn't make a lot of sense.
It's an offensive league.
Well, come on. You say I'm playing Madden. I think Corey's playing
He's
Madden.
definitely playing Madden on that one.
Where you can just
He's
slide.
not with the other one.
We
The
can
other one,
slide
he's
Trevor Penning over into the guard spot with no problem. Why not move him to center?
We drafted Andrews Pete as a tackle and moved him to guard. He's a gigantic
But he was
guard.
projected as a guard, really.
Was he?
Yeah.
It's easy to say now.
was.
Revisionist history.
And
over
he
here
played.
with
He
Nick.
played all positions at Stanford.
Okay, let's move on to a different take. Let's go back to
Yeah.
yours.
So we had our fun with the aggressive move.
Wait, so
on my part.
what was the third one? I didn't. What was the third one?
Shit, who was the third one?
Did you have a third player or no? Just those two.
You gotta have 3. Who's your third? We got Broderick Jones.
don't
No, I
have
said
to.
I said Bijan.
You would trade up
Ooh,
2
a
firsts
first
for
next
Bijan.
year?
No way in
You
hell.
two just
All right,
railed
next.
on me last episode for even thinking about Bijan in
No,
the 20s, and you're
yes,
fucking
we're
picking
third.
him with.
The third.
Oh fuck!
No, I wouldn't trade a first for Bijan. No, I wouldn't do that.
That's the parameters. We just laid it out for you.
Then I don't have a third. There's nobody else on there.
That's fine.
who I
He
would
doesn't
say.
have to have a third. If there's 2 players he loves that he thinks are worth trading up for, that's
Counsel?
fine.
If you're
Counsel?
if you're gun to my head, who's the third? Then it's got to be Bijan. But I wouldn't do it if the.
Well, talking about
parameter is-
we laid out
No,
the
you're not
parameters
trading
to
up
move
for
to the
Bijan.
top 15. It would probably take a first in 2024.
All right, super Georgia fan. Jalen falls to 10.
Jalen. Oh,
He's worth it.
You would do it.
He's
I
worth
would do it.
I can make that case.
I would do it.
I can make that
yeah.
case in a second.
If he
I would
falls
do
to
it.
10,
If he fell to 10 because of the drama and
would-
you traded 2 firsts to go get that guy,
He'd be
I'm
worth it.
in. I'd take the chance on that.
he's worth it.
You know
He's-
what? Look, we're unanimous. We're all in agreement.
I'm trying to help him with this Georgia thing, and he's.
Well,
He went fucking rogue, man, with the Broderick Jones.
It's
Then
possible
he
he falls
topped it
to,
off. A Broderick Jones Sunday with a Bijan Robinson cherry
last-
on the fucking top.
the,
What was
feel like
that?
Bijan was
the
panicked.
last starting left tackles for Georgia are all starters in the league right
You
now.
two grilled the fuck
last
out of
one.
me.
I'm not
about-
knocking the player. We're not knocking the player. We're
No, he's a good player.
talking
He's a
about
good
the
player.
Saints. We're talking about the
Oh
Saints.
yeah, no. Well, why would we even be doing this whole exercise? if
Jalen
there wasn't
falls-
a little bit of fun. in
Jalen
there?
falls to 10. Everybody good going to get him.
Yeah, it's a code red at that point.
Are you worried about the character thing?
No,
with that?
no,
I'm not either.
no.
I kind of am because
It's the
I'm
league.
I'm a little gun shy after.
I think
the
that's a
Jonathan
little
Sullivan
overblown,
shit.
though. Like his role.
Jonathan
in
Sullivan.
The lying's bad.
But I mean, look, Jonathan.
Dude, I hope so, but
No, Sullivan would. There's. We can't even say apples to oranges. It's like
you say that, but
you can't. I mean,
Wait,
they-
you're saying you're
So-
hesitant because he's a Georgia defensive tackle?
no,
or
not at
you're
all.
hesitant
I'm
because
hesitant because of the.
I think that red jersey
No,
makes you
it's-
think of Jonathan Sullivan.
of what
They're
AK
bulldogs.
is
I
doing?
have 2 bulldogs. I love bulldogs. Not the Georgia bulldogs.
Bulldogs.
But
I love bulldogs.
Jalen
Bulldogs are the
Carter.
best.
Jalen Carter, there's flags, man. There are flags popping up all over the place. Like it's.
Well,
you
you're
have
wor-
to admit it. It does not look like he's a very intelligent human being at this point.
I'm not drafting him for his intelligence.
21-year-old kid isn't completely honest
I'm
when
not
he thinks he's
drafting-
in trouble.
I'm not
You're
saying
that
I'm,
worried
look,
about that.
I'm not going all Deion Sanders on
You
the
haven't
whole.
talked that dude's been
the
pulled
whole
over
like.
for speeding
I'm not talking
90
about.
miles an hour.
Look, I'm not talking about Deion Sanders and his parental units, and I'm not going to go that far. Okay, but I'm not drafting a defensive tackle.
Let me
based on
preface
his,
it with saying I would
Wonder
trade
Lick
up.
test.
I would trade up for him. If
10.
he's at 10, I would trade up.
Yeah.
If it's only a first from 2024, I'm doing it.
You'd give this year 29, next year's
And
first.
next year's first, I would go get him
I would
because
too.
it's worth the shot.
Because he's the best
Because
player
if
in
he
the
pans
draft.
out, he's Warren Sapp.
He's the best player in the draft.
Well, he's Warren Sapp
Or
if
Aaron
he pans
Donald,
out.
or yeah.
But
And
there are some things that give me
and
pause.
he fits our perfect need, correct?
Agree. Again, you don't have to sell me on it. I would do it. I don't think it's like I see the cons to it, but I think the possibility of the pros outweigh the cons, so I would do it.
The guy could be a Pro Bowler day one. I think you take that chance.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
You have to.
And look, we're unanimous in that.
Okay.
Okay, so we've covered.
To be fair, I'm not trading up.
Thank you for the third.
I'm trying to help Corey out. And a Georgia guy. I stuck to the program if I was Corey.
And here's the,
Well, Corey was
honestly,
on one side
look,
last episode
I guess,
with
I guess
running backs,
if
and
there
then he went
is
to a
any
different side.
if there is any draft to have to be a Georgia alum for, it's either this or the year before.
It's a good
because
one.
I'm really trying to avoid being a homer. I really am.
Next
I'm
year's
trying-
the one, Brock Bowers.
Well, that's
Yeah,
all
but
in.
the
That-
I am
of
on
the Georgia-
record. That
that's
is
a
my
Brocker.
guy
The depth
next
of the
year.
Georgia players this year is like
Yeah.
LSU a few years ago.
next year is
It's
Brock or
crazy.
bust. But this year, I really am trying to avoid the homer takes. I really am. but it has been difficult between Jalen,
and that's fair.
Roderick,
That's fair.
Nolan, you name it. But I mean, you got Keeley coming in.
all right,
and-
so-
For that, I'm a no on going up to get an offensive tackle. Not a player,
I'm a no
just
as well.
that position. I'm a no giving up 2 firsts.
we're gonna do something crazy.
We are. No, I agree with you. But
I'm
we're gonna-
also a no on wide receiver just because of how much we've invested in the position in the last year, bringing Mike back, going to get Olave, Shaheed rising up. I would be against.
but what
that.
about-
I am not going to say no to Jackson Smith and Jake, but I would prefer it not be the first round pick.
What about
I am not saying no to Jackson. I am saying no to trading 2 ones.
You're saying no to hashtag YOLO.
Yes,
I think that's what you're saying.
for
no
a
to.
receiver. Yeah,
I mean,
I am
for anything.
pro. Go and get Jalen Carter if he makes it to 10. We all are. We're all
I think
with
that profoundly could change the team
correct.
if he's got his head on right. So
I think we have the right coaching to make that happen.
that's in a whole nother episode.
That's a whole other episode. Nick and I are going to take
Oh wait, I'm sorry. Wait, take it back.
post draft
Ryan Nielsen
on whether or not
here
Dennis
anymore.
Allen is a good coach.
Or maybe we look.
No, we're going to shelve this. Just
That's fine.
Dennis Allen has improved a lot of defensive tackles. I don't know if he's great with a head case.
Ryan
play.
Nielsen did a great job with the defensive tackle.
you're
But here's the
reaching.
deal. Time out.
You're
This is going to be a. We're going to bookmark this for later.
That's just a guess.
We're going to dive into this later. We'll delve into this later, as they say.
Yeah.
So look, we've covered the trade up. We covered the stay put. So I'll go ahead and plead my case for the trade back.
Now, before you do that, if you don't mind, I also want you to give us a scenario in which a guy like Loomis, who never trades back, would
Has
actually
he ever
would
traded back?
actually do
Wait,
it.
real quick. Has
Can
he
you-
ever
can you-
traded back? No.
Can you humor
Not once,
us?
right?
Out of the first round, no.
Never.
Can you
I
I
humor
don't believe
us?
so. I could be wrong, but I don't believe
No, I
so.
Can
don't
you
think he
humor us and actually set up the scene?
Well, no,
first?
because I said this last episode.
Okay, that's fine. You
But
can-
let's start here. What criteria would you be sitting at 29 with that pick and the clock starting that you need to trade back? What's the criteria?
Okay,
Who
here's-
has to not be there
No,
at 29?
here's the question. No, my point is,
If your guy's there, you're not trading back.
no. Here's my point. The person who has to be there. So if Levis or Hendon Hooker are still available at 29,
Okay.
the point I'm contending is that some team who wants to get that 5th-year option, which is insanely valuable for one of those quarterbacks, that's where you're sitting in a position of move up, come get one of these quarterbacks, get the 5th-year option. We'll move back a couple of picks. Look, it might be, let's say the Texans. There's a lot of rumors floating around. So Bryce Young is the overwhelming favorite to go number 1 right now to the Panthers. There are rumors floating around. C.J. Stroud is not going to go to the Texans. They're saying they might take Will Anderson.
Yeah. Did y'all see real quick on I think it was Get Up or one of the morning shows where Schefter bet. Speaking of bets, like we talked about with the Baker Mayfield bet, Schefter actually bet Dan Orlovsky that only 2 quarterbacks would be drafted between 1 and 4.
I could see it.
And Orlovsky was looking at Schefter like he was the craziest
look,
analyst
Schefter
he'd ever
knows.
seen. But I think Schefter's
But
got
here's the deal. So apparently
Somebody
the
will come
Texans
get
are not
one.
high.
Somebody
has
will
a-
come get one.
he
though.
has a point to your point, though. I agree with Max here.
There's a good possibility. Bryce Young, we can pretty much write it in pen at this point that he's going number 1.
Which
He's going to be a
makes me
Panther.
so
We're going to play
happy.
him, whatever.
Yeah, I think the Panthers should take Stroud, but I really hope they take Bryce Young.
I really don't want him to take Bryce Young because he's the best quarterback by far.
I don't care. I'm loving that.
Stroud is better NFL. That's
So I'm
the-
glad this is all being recorded because we are going to revisit this in a couple years, and we'll see which one of us is looking.
I don't
at
like
it.
any of them as a
just
top 5
like we
quarterback.
revisited
I like one of them, and his name is
Baker
Young.
Mayfield.
You
The rest
think
of
he's a
them don't
top
like.
5 quarterback in the future? Top 5. Because we're talking about the number 1 pick. Is he a top 5 quarterback in the NFL at any point in his career?
I don't think he has to be a top 5. If he's top 10, yes, I think he's top 10. At some point in his career. Time out. We're gonna let me get back to the original point before Corey got me.
Yes, but
sidetracked.
we digress.
Yeah, we took a little detour, but so
Is he your Zach Wilson this year, Max?
All right, let's just let
All right,
Max,
keep going.
let's
Go,
let
go,
Max get to the trade
hey,
back.
Mahomes. Who wanted Mahomes?
Let's let Max get to the
we'll
trade
leave that
back.
one there.
All right, so we're trading back. Max, what are we doing?
Okay, no. So the reasoning for the trade back is one of those 2 quarterbacks, most likely Levis or Hendon Hooker, is still available at 29. Probably unlikely, but possible that both of them will be there. So the situation becomes other teams want to get that 5th-year option. So what they do is that's where we look to make some calls to get someone to take that spot. By trading back, and I'm saying, let's just argument's sake, going back to what I said about the Texans, they don't like Stroud at 2, so they take Will Anderson. Let's say they take Jackson Smith and Jigba at 12. So at this point, they can circle back, dive into the first round, and take Will Levis or Hendon Hooker at 29. So we move back to their second round pick, which is what
team you say this is again?
Second pick in the second round. So it's
it's only back
33.
4 picks. Right.
Yeah.
4 picks.
Exactly.
Quick. You're trading back no matter who's on the board if this comes up, or no?
I'll be honest with you.
Or do you need a big haul just because they're coming to get the quarterback? You want a better package than you would normally get.
I want another second round pick or another third round pick to move back.
Okay.
Give me at least one of those.
Well, there's
to
no
move
way
back a couple, depending on how far you go back. If it's the Texans,
Plus what? You want the Texans
If you
second,
go back
4
5
picks
spots,
back. Right.
give me the Texans' third round pick,
So this year.
which is essentially
a 2 and a
second
3.
this year. Yes.
Okay.
So you pick up another.
If your player's on the board of your list that you've mentioned before, you would still do that.
I would do
And
that
hope-
because I think Gibbs is probably still going to be there at that pick, which would be the second pick in the second round. I think Gibbs is probably still there, or Darnell Washington. I think Darnell Washington, there's a good possibility he's
there.
still there.
He'll be there.
So
He'll
So
be
if
there
you
at
can
third
trade
round.
back, pick up another third round pick. So let's say we go back with the Texans, and let's say we decide Darnell Washington's our guy. So we take him. With that extra third round pick that we pick up, give me Tyjae Spears. And then with pick 40, that frees us up to go best defensive end, best defensive tackle. Maybe it's the kid from Northwestern we've been talking about, who we can't say his name,
at 40?
Adetomiwa, whatever. So imagine getting Darnell Washington, Adetomiwa, and then picking up
we got to
Spears.
fact check his name before you say it one more time.
No, that's how you say it.
Oh, okay. I thought you were just guessing.
Again, if that all worked out, that's fantastic.
Now-
But that's the scenario I'm laying out.
Now
And
looking
you're
at the
going to
most
pass
recent,
on who's your number one guy that, say, projected between 15 and 30. Who's your number one guy?
Between 15 and 30, man, it's tough. Because all the guys I like are either projected before 15, probably Gibbs between 15 and 30.
I don't know if
He'd be your number one.
Between 15 and 30, yeah.
Now the most recent mock
Because
draft,
I'm including Bijan's, he's ahead of 15.
He's
Jackson
getting
Smith
picked
and
ahead of
Jigba
15.
ahead of 15.
That's like a set thing. Who's taking Bijan?
look now
in the top 15?
Gibbs is
No, but
currently
he's
mocked.
I'm not saying where he's projected. I'm saying where he's ranked. And
Oh,
Bijan's
okay.
top 5 everywhere.
Because
I'm going off rankings. I'm not going off where he's projected.
yeah, and
Where's Smith and Jigba on the actual rankings, not where he's projected to go?
Right around that. 10, 11, 12.
15?
Yeah. 10, 11, 12.
I haven't seen that. I've seen him picked there. I haven't seen him as that top 15 player definitively.
now I'm only looking at this for reference.
What are you looking at?
Because I'm looking at the
Pornhub?
I thought you couldn't do that in Louisiana anymore.
Well, you just got to enter your ID.
Just give him
right?
your social security number.
I hit the mic right as you're talking about it. No, I'm not looking at it. Come on, have a.
Hi, Lizzie.
Hey, how you doing? I
No,
really don't.
Look.
But to move back to the NFL draft,
Let's pick
I am
one guy.
looking
Let's
at the-
Kuiper, whoever you want
It's
to
the
pick.
Kuiper-
Let's look at his top 15.
if Max didn't talk about that,
Let's go
contraband-
Daniel Jeremiah.
No, look, I'm looking at the Kuiper McShay most recent 3-round mock that they apparently did together. I find that hard to believe.
They hate each other, but they're together.
Yeah.
Well, they alternate picks.
allegedly. But if they do what this mock says, this would be actually they have mock drafted my personal nightmare.
What?
In round 2. So I don't care about Jalen Hyatt going 39 to the Panthers. I really don't. But they have us at 40 and the Tennessee Titans at 41, both picking tight ends.
Who do we pick?
Luke Musgrave out of Oregon State.
Okay, so he's an athletic freak.
And you know who goes one pick after us?
Washington.
Darnell.
That's why I
I-
wouldn't take tight end in the first, because there's going to be one there.
No,
for
40 is a better spot for it.
him. There's going to be
Agreed,
one there,
agreed.
and if it is the guy from Oregon, Musgrave, I'm fine
Look,
with that.
I'm sure
I'm fine with it
I'm
too.
sure he'd be fine. But that'd be rough for your boy personally.
I will say
From
this.
a homer,
hold on.
total
What-
homer
what
standpoint.
Nick just said is
total
correct.
homer standpoint.
What
but,
Nick just said is correct. 40 is a better spot for tight end.
yeah.
And if you can move back a little bit, take your running back.
Do you think
either there or in the third when you can pick up a third and get Tajay Spears?
Who was the first running back picked last year?
See, look, Tajay.
Shit. Brees Hall.
What number was that? Second round, right?
Early second. Jets.
So these two
Jets.
jokers have
First pick in the second.
Yeah.
Going with Breezy.
I'm really eager to see where they get picked this year.
Dude, Gibbs in the second?
There's a real down vibe on running backs finally.
I'm gonna have to. I
Yeah.
can't.
The Nick mantra has finally come 5 years down the
No,
road.
you've been talking about it for 15 years, but it's finally happening.
People don't want to spend capital on them. And a fifth year,
But here's the flip side. So
fifth-year option's useless.
Look,
Hey, this
on a running
draft
back.
one, but never pay him. So draft
Right.
him in the first, get to 5 years, and then let him walk.
but the fifth year option sucks. You're paying him as a top 5 running back at that point.
So
It
here's
doesn't
the thing.
matter. Even though it's only
So-
1 year, it's useless, really. You're
Max
better
is-
off paying them a fair contract.
I'll say this: Max's trade back. Maybe this is the year.
It's Corey.
That
It's
Loomis
always
does
a
it-
year, but it won't happen.
There's a hook to this, Max. Just give it a beat. This is a podcast.
Is it Broderick Jones with the?
Give it a beat.
30-second
No,
pick.
we're in the 40s here. Okay,
Oh, okay. What
give
is
it a beat, Max.
We are anyway.
Maybe this is the year that Loomis trades back because your boy, Jahmyr Gibbs, is not projected at 39. He's not projected at 40.
It's because you were listening to Mel Kiper and Todd McShay.
I'm looking at
If we're being fair, he shouldn't be a top
they're
40
all
pick
they're all a
It should
crapshoot.
be.
because he's a
They're all a
niche player.
crapshoot at this point. So you could look at any one of them. They don't need to have names on them.
I love him,
But-
and I still don't think he's.
What do you get?
They're projecting him at 48 to the Lions.
That could happen. Don't say no way. That could happen.
So Max want that because it gives you best of both worlds. You get your boy.
No, it doesn't. If he's at
and-
48, because if we don't take him at 40, we
He's
don't
at-
get him.
No, if he's at 40.
That's the only
if
thing
he's
that
at
would make Max
48,
stop watching
we
the draft
trade.
if we don't draft him at 40.
Guess what? We trade back.
I will turn it off.
He'll
we
turn
trade
it
back.
off.
We trade back. And we get not only do we get Jahmyr, we
Yeah,
get
you're also assuming they
more
draft
picks.
him. You're assuming they draft him.
Gibbs could be there at 40.
He absolutely could be there at 40. Yeah, absolutely. The
But I'm
point
saying-
is, if you don't get him at 40, you're not getting him.
We're
you
not
don't pull the
getting
trigger at 40.
We're not getting him right.
We're not. That's what I mean.
Well,
We're-
actually, you know what the more likely Saints scenario is? We love nothing more than trading back, quote unquote, into the draft.
So let's be honest.
Oh,
right?
yeah, for sure.
You know, so
what
like
safety are we drafting with the 40th pick? That's what I
God.
need to know.
we're taking a safety in the top three.
Well, here's the
Definitely taking a
our
safety.
top three picks.
Here's the reality.
We're
Out
not-
of the 3 scenarios that we brought up, Corey's scenario is the one that's going to happen because they're going to trade up.
Yeah,
I just don't see
gonna-
who their guy is.
Their
That's what
guy.
I'm having a tough time with.
We've
look,
never seen who
We
their guy
heard
is.
about Davenport. You knew we were like all about that motherfucker.
Sorry to our
We knew we
listeners,
were all
but
about Olave.
I think
we
we
Oh,
have-
Olave, we knew.
we knew it.
Davenport?
Yes. After the Senior Bowl and all that shit, they were raving about him.
yeah. This
I'll be
Oh,
honest
they
with you.
loved him.
Look,
They
I'll be honest with
loved
you.
him.
That draft, me and Clint went to watch Infinity War.
I remember.
I shut off the draft for the first time in my adult
I
life.
bet if you go check
Hey,
the
I
text,
left the movie
I
with
think,
about
I think
80...
it's the first shout out to the little guy. Hey,
Shout out, little guy.
dead pork.
I left the movie with about 80 angry text messages from Nick being like, who the fuck, why the fuck, what the fuck are we doing? Drafting Davenport. 2 first-round picks.
and you
And
got
also
upset
little-
with me.
because that's what you call him. But you know,
And I said, I
And I
kept
messaged him
saying,
back. I said, look, I'm in a good mood. I just saw Infinity War. I'm not going to let it ruin my
I'm going
day.
to give him a chance. I was like, I'm not mad at him. I'm
what-
mad at us.
so what movie are you gonna be watching during the draft this year?
Draft day. It's a ritual. I
The
watch
most
this shitty
accurate
movie
portrayal
every
of the.
year.
You know, it is a nice little thing to watch.
Oh, it's fucking... Look, come on.
It's horrible.
It is
but-
one of the best good, bad movies ever made.
And guess what, Max? I've seen it.
I've seen it like 15 times.
And you
I
know
went with
you
Garland.
can't draft a quarterback that doesn't have his teammates show up for his birthday party.
Look, he knows it.
That's just straight
Here's
up.
the thing. It's a shitty
Everyone
movie.
knows that.
God.
Everyone
Dude,
knows
it's
that.
a shitty movie, yet
but-
all of us have seen it enough to know the quotes.
The goddamn.
Come out. A little,
Even Drew
hold on.
Rosenhaus
The
knows
birthday party.
A little segue here. So Garland Gillen,
Jesus.
shout out to a friend of the podcast, Garland.
Yeah, friend of the pod.
He had early screening passes to it. I guess this is 2013, 2014.
I know where you're going with this. Yeah.
We went and saw it, and we were both like, "Oh man, that's not a good movie." But fuck, it was a good movie. It was entertaining, and
God.
well, Jennifer Garner.
Hey, what's in your wallet?
She's no Jennifer Connelly.
No one is.
No, I mean,
Damn right.
apples to oranges there.
Yeah.
But
I say that having watched Top Gun Maverick for about the 30th time last night.
so once
Sorry.
Great
Just
movie.
one.
Greatest,
in the theaters.
Mount Rushmore of greatest sequels ever. But we're off on a tangent here.
Well, speaking of greatest sequels, I mean, what would be the greatest sequel draft?
A sequel to the 2017 draft.
Okay, so what was your favorite thing about the 2017 draft that you want to see repeated in this one? I mean, call this a little bit of a wrap up session because I think we hit on.
You know what? I'll give it to you.
We hit on the aggressive. We hit
We
on
got
the
Kamara. We got Kamara in the third round.
Oh God, you have to talk about Gibbs again.
No, I am. We got Kamara in the third round. And look, I'm gonna throw everything I've said about
Mount Rushmore draft sequel. Let's go.
Listen
right
to me.
now.
I'm going back to my sequence of trading back with the Texans and picking up that extra third round pick. And let's say we go tight end, pass rusher, in some
So
order.
you even want it to happen the same way.
Listen to me. So I'm going to say third round pick that we pick up, Tyjae Spears,
That's a
stays home in New Orleans, somehow turns into Rookie of the Year,
He will be
a la
have-
Kamara.
He will have songs written about him. If
I
that's
will
the case.
write those songs.
It's
about
hard
it.
to replicate that draft. We had 2 first-round picks.
Yeah, but no, we're not.
That's
we're,
hard.
Nick, come on, man. You're the guy that's like you can't do Rocky 1 again. No, we're talking about sequels.
Well, time out. Let's go
Rushmore.
back to 2006. We can have a sequel to it. We had
We
one
could.
draft pick, one first round draft pick.
2006 was well, yeah, it was a top 5 pick though. To second.
Yeah,
pick.
and honestly, he wasn't the slam dunk.
For us, he was the slam dunk.
Reggie.
Going into it, but
His
in
career is not
reality, he was not
No,
the slam dunk.
just what he did
Hold
to
on.
revamp everything. It was just as much him as it was Drew. And
It was
Yes.
it was symbolic
Wait,
more than
this is-
anything, but performance wise,
But do you remember that draft? And we sold out the season ticket office that
God, yeah,
day.
because we came
that
back from Katrina.
day.
Reggie was the Saints version of the Zion pick.
He was so important.
No, he was.
to everything.
And look,
Yeah.
I was over the moon.
They-
that was my favorite pick ever.
I was
But production
a
wise,
sophomore in college having an NFL draft keg party
Quit
when we
showing off.
drafted Reggie Bush.
Mr. Humble Brag over here. I was.
That's not a humble brag. That's
he was still rooting for TCU at this
that
point.
is a brag. No,
I was in year 7 of my career.
I didn't meet that person yet, but that is a brag. Okay, I was a sophomore in college. That was a brag. Okay, I had the wherewithal.
It's still just a sophomore in college, so it's not that big of a brag.
Look at Nick, just a sophomore in college, man. I got so much more going on.
Anyway,
in my
give me a
life.
A
sequel.
lot of people have done it.
Give me a sequel to 2006 or
Dude,
2017.
just let me
Give
live. Just let me live, bro.
Hey, to answer your question, give me a sequel to 2006 or 2017.
The sequel. Gosh, I mean, I'm having trouble answering my own question.
Have you actually seen Top Gun?
I've seen Top Gun. I saw Top Gun a long time ago. Yes, there are other movies that you will be right about that I have not seen, but I saw.
All on a tangent.
I saw Top Gun. No,
What?
we're talking sequel, draft sequel.
06.
What draft do we want to have a sequel?
Let's
to?
recap
06 or
06 real
17.
quick.
I want an 06 sequel. Are you kidding me? I want an 06 sequel.
You want-
right now? Free
So
agents
Reggie, Roman,
included.
Colson in the 7th.
Yep. And then
Pierre is
Zach Strief.
undrafted, right?
I
Zach
wanted
Strief.
Pierre undrafted. I
Strief,
wanted
Pierre
Strief.
undrafted.
Mike Haas.
Yeah, that was a killer pick, by the way. He was legit.
Every rose has its thorns.
Who else was that year? Was that Antonio Pittman year?
No.
Nah.
No. That was
What
the
year was
Pierre
that?
Thomas undrafted year. Fuck. Who is the defensive end? Did we say him already? The one that went to the Patriots?
Oh, he
Ninkovich.
was that year. Rob
Ninkovich.
Ninkovich was that year.
Ninkovich. We draft.
That was a great
I
draft.
mean, good
That's a great
lord.
No, I mean, that was the foundation piece.
Yeah.
And then the 2017 one was the foundation for the next couple of years.
The 2017 players are better.
The 27.
That's
Wait,
fair. I
what
think that-
year?
Well, time out. And to quote Roman on this,
Wait, who was
someone
the-
asked him this question. He
Wait,
was
wait,
like,
what offensive
which one
lineman
of
did we
these
get?
drafts won a Super Bowl?
Yeah.
That's bullshit.
Well,
It's not.
that's not bullshit. That,
Dude,
I mean, well,
Super Bowls are so circumstantial and luck, and there's a whole bunch of
What?
shit involved.
whoa.
100%.
Big pushback. You just said Super Bowls are
Hey,
circumstantial.
Roman, you had Prime Breeze. That team did not. Shut the fuck up.
That's not
Different.
circumstantial.
It's different.
The 2017 had, well, in your words, Prime Breeze.
How many of those Dolphins teams?
That
with
was
Dan,
not Prime
wait,
Breeze.
How many
That was
Dolphin,
very good Breeze. That was
how-
not Prime Breeze.
Nick, how many Dolphins teams with Dan Marino won a Super Bowl? Is that circumstantial?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, they didn't win one.
It doesn't matter.
Dan Marino never won a Super Bowl.
No
so you
shit.
could say you had Dan Marino. Bada bing, bada boom.
What
you
is
should
your
have won.
point? That you had a better chance to win the Super Bowl because you had Dan Marino in his prime than if you had busted
you can't
knee
just-
brace Dan Marino.
No, you can't just say you had Drew Brees. That's why you won a Super
The
Bowl.
only way you can compare those drafts is if they were in the exact same environment.
How many other
The truth is,
Green Bay Packers teams with Aaron Rodgers were like?
how
we
many
should win
Hall
the
of
Super
Famers
Bowl?
in that draft?
I don't know that off the top of my head. That's a crazy question. But I mean, you can't just
should
fault,
know this.
You can't fault Roman.
How many
Harper.
Hall of Famers did the Saints draft?
And I'm
that
not
year?
even defending a friend. I'm just saying that you can't fault a
Jari.
guy. You can't fault anybody on the 09
Jari.
team for
That's it,
saying
right.
our team won a Super Bowl.
He's awesome. What round? was
Okay,
he
talk
fourth
about
round or fifth
how
round?
many drafts in the NFL history have had multiple Hall of Famers? We talked about the
I
Ray
don't know
Lewis,
that
Jonathan
answer. The
Ogden
Ravens.
one.
I bet you there's more than you think early
No,
on.
there's a couple, but there's not much, man.
But
Getting one Hall of Famer is a good draft.
Oh, it's a huge. It's
Yeah.
it's amazing. 100%. That's be if you did that every year, you'd
Yeah,
be a
exactly.
juggernaut.
we already know Jari and Roman are Saints Hall of Famers from the one draft. So there you go.
So is Colston. So is Reggie. So is, yeah, that whole draft is Hall of Famers, and they should be
Streif.
because they won a Super Bowl.
Tackle eligible.
But you can't say they're better just because they won a Super Bowl. That is not accurate.
that makes the team. If you're going team to team,
That's like saying Trent Dilfer is better than Dan Marino.
Trent Dilfer's
Talent-
team
okay, talent
was better
wise-
than Dan Marino's team. Why? Because one of them won a Super Bowl and the other one did not.
That's not how it works.
Talent-wise, 2017
There's
is
one
a better
trophy every
draft.
year for a reason. That's how it works.
Production-wise,
And unfortunately, it doesn't judge the best team. It judged the best team that day after a playoff
No.
round and one-off games. This
Disagree.
does not make you the best.
Disagree. Yeah, disagree. Big disagree. Huge disagree.
it's good to see Corey come out of his shell.
I mean, here I am. I mean,
What are we,
you
5
can't
episodes
say
in?
that the guy without a
It's
Super
like saying,
Bowl,
remember
you
the year
can't
we
say-
lost to the Rams
No, that's-
team and
that's-
it cost us home field advantage? They beat us. So are they better than us?
They have by that Rams team did.
Wait, what year was that?
The year we lost at San Francisco.
Did that Rams team actually win the Super Bowl?
They won 3 games, I think. The whole season. They beat us, and we had to go to San
Wait,
Fran.
you mean the wait? I thought you were talking about the Rams. The Rams. team
No,
that
he's
had
talking about
No.
2011.
No,
can't just-
here,
No, not
let's take a step-
2011. It was 20.
Let's take a step. Let's take a step back. But all I'm saying is that
Are you sure it won 2011?
you can't say.
was the year they
bro,
had
that was the
0
year
wins?
we obliterated everybody. The only teams ahead of us were the Niners. We had to go there.
Correct. Wasn't that
Here's the thing.
what's
We're
the
talking
year
about
we
draft
lost at
sequel.
San Fran? That's the year, I'm pretty sure.
That was the 2011 year. That was the 2011 team that lost to San Fran in the playoffs.
And we lost at St. Louis when they were an abomination.
You're talking about I remember what we were doing that exact Wednesday before that St. Louis game, and I'm not going to name names. I'm not going to name restaurants. I'm not going to name people. I'm not going to name liquor that was drank the Wednesday before that game. But
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
that's an interesting reference
And I know where you're
because
going with that. And
yeah, and we're not going to go there. But the thing is, you can't say that a team that does not have a Lombardi trophy is better than a team.
We're not talking about teams.
In history
We're talking about
with one.
players.
Okay,
Just
Dan Mar-
because you win a Super Bowl does not make you a better player
you
than
were talking
someone
about
else.
teams. You were talking about teams.
Wait, time out. You know what I
Talking about
realized?
drafts.
There have been multiple.
Dilfer is not better than Marino.
Time out, time out.
I'll give
That's
you
a
that
player.
Time out. There have
any
been
day of the week.
multiple.
I'm talking about players.
Obviously.
There have been multiple losses to the Rams in that like 5-year period
Oh,
when
we
the Rams sucked.
We regular
That
season.
screwed us.
We regular season sucked against the Rams.
So I just fact checked it. Nick
Yeah.
is correct. In 2011, we did lose to the Rams that year.
I know exactly what we were
0-9,
doing.
right?
I know exactly
didn't
what
show
we
the
were
record.
doing the Wednesday before that game for a very good reason. And I'll
But
leave
I
it at
am
that.
going to say, yeah, it didn't show the record. There was another year, and I want to say it was
That was the year we lost.
15.
When we had to go to Seattle, you mean?
No, that was 12.
It was
I
that.
think it was the Eagles' year.
No, it was that
But
year.
we beat the Eagles. The year we beat the Eagles?
And then we went to Seattle and lost in Seattle. Not Beastquake, but we lost in Seattle to eliminate us. The 2012.
There's another year we lost to the Rams. And
the year I'm talking about is the year we dominated the whole league. We
That's
go
2011.
13-3.
That's 2011.
The loss to the Rams cost us home field advantage.
Yeah.
That team was
No, that's 2011. The best Saints team in history.
Right.
The uncrowned best team.
Yeah, best offense in
Uncrowned.
history.
That being said, there is another year that we lost to the Rams in the regular season, and it screwed us royally. And I can't remember the year. I just remember that Root, Penthouse, Murph, all of these things kind of rolled into one.
I'll
and
say
we had
you're on the money there because I was there at Root,
yeah.
and I let y'all go on for the rest.
That's been 10, 12 years already? Jesus.
I just
And,
know that the next week of practice, they got grilled.
Mm-hmm.
Rome told us about it, and it was, yeah. They knew.
I'm just saying. I love that draft. The 06 draft was incredible.
Yep.
We can't say player to player they're simply a better draft because they won a Super Bowl. That
Yes,
is
you can.
nonsensical.
All right, well, time out. We have gone so far off the fucking
They were
path.
5 players of 53.
Hold on. We'll table
All right.
this discussion.
We're on
Let's
the
get
Mount-
back to the draft
the Mount-
of this
the
year,
Mount
which
Rush-
is happening tomorrow night. Since this is releasing on Wednesday, the draft is tomorrow night. So we need to figure out. We have our 3 different approaches.
Yeah. I say let's get aggressive. Let's move up. Let's shock the world.
You want to shock the world for Bijan Robinson with that
Or a
2
backup
picks?
tackle.
Or a backup
The
tackle.
first,
Shock the shit out of him.
the first guy I mentioned. Let's get Jackson Smith and Jibba and tell everybody else, make everybody else think like, oh, you can't do that. Well, we just did. We just did.
That's rich. That's rich.
Okay, if that's your move, that's your move.
Let's do it. I say let's do
No
it.
thanks.
I'll be honest with you. I'm kind of with Nick on this one. I don't want to give up next year's first.
Go big or go home.
I don't see anybody in this draft worth giving up next year's first. The only exception I can see would be Jalen Carter if he makes it to 10, 11, 12. That's the one guy, because he is such a fucking game wrecker, I would take a chance.
But you made a good as a player, Warren Sapp, but also as a draft situation.
he
as Warren
scares
Sapp.
me.
Warren Sapp fell just like this.
Yeah.
It was, I think it was marijuana or
Marijuana,
something.
He
yeah.
also had his quote unquote character issues.
Right. And fucking Hall of Famer. So
There you go.
And look,
I'm
with
all in
both of
if we
y'all.
did that. I'm all in
with
if we
both
did.
of y'all. I'll take the shot. And I think we would if he fell down far enough. I think he's going to end up going to like 6, 7, or 8 in that range.
I always say do when you're doing anything in life, do what you're good at. Well, you know what Mickey Loomis is?
Okay, hold on. I got this.
He's good
I
at
got
trading up.
this. Give me
Or
your
poor,
3. Hold on.
depending
Give me
which side
your
you're
3 players. We're all going to do this. Give me your 3 players.
The Eagles love Mickey Loomis.
Give me your
Well,
3.
yeah,
Jesus,
yeah,
I bet they do.
I will be upset.
Yeah.
With everything I've
You know,
said.
you know who Mickey Loomis is? Mickey Loomis to the Eagles is that easy chick that can just
God.
call up at any point.
That's
And
the
boom.
2 a.m.
Oh,
chick.
Mickey Loomis is Eagles booty call.
Yeah, he's the booty call.
He's Eagles booty call.
You need a starting safety? How about a 6th?
He's Eagles booty call.
All right.
The Eagles are texting Loomis at like pick whatever, like you up.
All right, let's get back on track.
All right.
Give me your 3 guys, and it doesn't have to be first round. One of these 3 players you want to be on this team after the draft. It could be a first rounder, it can be a 5th rounder, it can be an undrafted free agent. Just 3 guys that you just fucking love, and you're like, you know what? I really want them to be Saints after that weekend's over. And that's the draft, all 7 rounds, and also the undrafted free agent signing period. 3 guys. You know, your guys. Like a couple years ago, to Nick's credit, he told me before the draft, he's like, Kamara. That was his guy. I told him Mahomes, and, you know, we were both right, but we only got one of them.
Yeah.
But give me your 3 guys. Let's all 3. We'll have 3 that we would really, really want to be Saints after the draft.
All right. Well, I'll burst the bubble and say 2 of them are homers,
That's fine.
but I'm gonna go Darnell, Washington, Tajee Spears, Stetson Bennett, the 4th.
All right. So 2 of those I'm really on board with. Nick,
Yeah.
what you got?
And look, that's a 7th round pick on the last one. So maybe
I like Stetson. Mm-hmm. Scrappy little fucker. He's like Ian Book with talent.
he's a good backup to Carr. Let's be honest.
Look, he's a backup. That's it.
Good backup to Carr.
One of your top 3 is a backup quarterback. That's fucking
You
insane.
said top 3 the whole draft. There's so many picks in the draft.
You know what I really want? Backup quarterback.
He's going to be the best backup ever.
Jesus Christ.
Oh, my God.
Most fantastic backup you've ever seen.
Nick, what you got?
I don't know. I think
3 good guys.
Why Nick likes the TCU wide receiver.
no, not as a top 3. I'm saying if he fell all the way, I would take
No,
him.
no, not in the top 3. Just
Look,
overall.
No,
like
my
you
top
would-
3 players. He's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
one of my top 3 players at all.
You're a soccer fan and he takes on kickers.
I don't have any takes on kickers.
No.
I hate kickers. We removed them from fantasy because of me.
Even though you have nephews that are stellar kickers.
Hey, I mean, it's a good paycheck. It's ridiculous in the sport. Let's be honest.
He has 2 nephews that are rising kickers.
They have
In
way too much
like-
influence in NFL games. They don't even get hit. How do they decide games? Okay, that's
not-
All right, yeah.
Yeah. They don't even get it. Oh, man.
I would like to see. I would love Gibbs, one of the top 3 tight ends. I really don't care which one it is.
You got to name one.
I'm not going.
Who's your top guy? You pick. Who's your favorite?
Gun to your head. Name a name.
Go on record telling me which one's the best. You're the best fit.
The best fit?
We don't
Probably
know.
Washington, but I'd be totally amped about the Notre Dame kid.
Yeah, he's
I would love it.
not bad.
I think he's a really good player.
He's probably a Catholic.
And then off the radar for edge rusher, Andre Carter would be my third one. I would love to see on the team. If
The Army guy?
yeah,
Thanks for saving up for that one.
Ooh.
and he
saving-
fits our mold. He's a big giant motherfucker. Fits
From a
fits the Dennis Allen
team
mold.
with
But that's
no
a
barometer.
mid-round pick if he's
Yeah,
there.
yeah.
I would love to get him in the 3rd or 4th or whatever,
just like Peyton Turner should go on the.
All right, so
third
my 3.
or fourth.
as he was projected by every other team in the NFL.
Jesus.
Yeah. My 3. We're going
All right, here we go.
Agent Zero, Darnell Washington.
Number 1?
Go
love
dog.
him,
Second.
dude.
If you don't say Bijan at this point, something's wrong with you.
No, he's gonna say.
You've been preaching it all
You
night.
know the other name he's about to say.
It's
I'm
going to
not
be 2 running backs.
and
Watch.
it rhymes with libs.
I'm not going to say Bijan because he's not going to be there.
Which I'm
So
fine
I'm
with.
saying people
that's
who have
criteria.
people who have a realistic
You
chance
said
of being
3
it-
players you love to see on our team.
Yeah. So I'm going to say my guys are Gibbs, Washington, Spears. Obviously,
Yeah.
Spears and Gibbs aren't going to happen.
I told you he was going to do
They
2
can't
running
all
backs.
happen
I
together.
told you he was going to do 2 running
They can't all happen together, but those are your guys.
But those are my guys.
They do need a running back.
I want one of those 3 on the team after the weekend.
Same. That's fair. That's fair. So, well, like we said, there were problems in the world before this podcast, and
Now there are none.
we just fixed them once again. Unbelievable.
Broderick Jones, Trevor Penning, right next to each other.
We're just going to line up
No, yeah, exactly. We're just gonna maul the shit out of everybody.
Offensive line made up of 5 tackles.
We're gonna
Why
clear
trade up for Jones when you can just pick Washington to do that?
this Southern Louisiana, man. We're plowing sugar cane in the fall, man. Come on, let's go.
You rolling pipe?
We're rolling pipe. We're getting shifted. We're doing all of it, man. Woo!
Yeah.
That's
But,
that's
All right, so the draft is tomorrow.
got it tomorrow.
So
Big
next
deal.
episode after, we're going to do
Well,
a
it's like a
post-draft
Netflix
recap.
series now. It's like the first episode of the draft because there's Thursday, then there's Friday, then there's Saturday.
Yeah, but we're not. Well,
but we're hyped. No, we're ready. We're ready. I think we're ready.
You know what?
Let's do it.
We might work out an actual draft watch-along. We'll see.
I think we should watch it. Maybe figure out how to do the live stream.
We can watch Nick have a meltdown.
We're a
with
bunch of
whatever they pick.
I'm
old
going to
guys.
melt
but
down regardless of what happens.
Maybe if we don't do it live, maybe we can record it, something like that. We'll figure out this technology bullshit and get it going.
All I know is there's no way I'm happy on Friday.
There's no way you're happy tomorrow. But yeah, here we go.
Cool. We'll see
the
what happens in the
draft.
draft tomorrow. Boom.
What a comeback!